All right. So here we are with the legendary Donald Garza from the Latin Breed Band and San Antonio fame. We're back with another session of the one-on-ones, getting to know the Latin Breed guys here. My name is Ben Miranda, of course, and have the privilege and the honor of interviewing my fellow bandmates and getting to know them a little better, and of course sharing their stories with you guys, the listeners and the viewers. So we'll kick this session off by saying hello, Donald. How you doing?
Okay, just fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. It's just, like I said, we're getting closer and closer to getting back to normal and get back to some gigging. So I'm getting excited for all that kind of thing. So all right. Well, like I said, we did this already with Steve Sanchez, and we did it with Frank, and we're working our way, down the horn section here, and
Mhm.
so we got you in the mix. First question for you, Donald, is let me know. I mean, I know obviously that we know that you play trumpet, with the Breed in the past, and now you play that in trombone. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What instruments all do you play? Because I know there's a few others probably that you play as well too. And then maybe just a little bit of your background. Let us know where you came from, how you started, all that good stuff.
Mhm. Okay, I was born in 1953. I was born in Brady, Texas, which is around the center of the state, a little town there. And when I was about 3.5 years old, my parents moved to San Antonio, and and I've been playing professionally for about 52 years since I was 13 or 14, somewhere around there.
Wow.
And had the pleasure of playing with a bunch of bands. Uh, we've been lucky because we came along at the right time when they had bands that were actually playing all the time. And even in the neighborhoods that we grew up in, almost every block had their own band going. Back then, they called them combos. And so there was a lot of bands and there was a lot of gigs, and it was a lot of fun. And the idea that I ended up with the Latin Breed is something I'm very, very proud of. And I'm glad that I still have the opportunity to play. I still have my health so that I can play with my friends and my brothers and because we've always been an instrumentalist band, but we've always backed up vocalists. And the vocalists that I've backed up, they've been very good. And you follow in that same area. I mean, you're very, very impressive vocals. And so it makes our work a little bit easier with the Latin Breed. But before I got in with the Latin Breed, like I said, I was playing with a whole bunch of bands because they all had gigs. I mean, we would play actually during the week, and back then you could do it full time, and you didn't make a lot of money, but you were busy, and so now we come forward 50 years or so, and Frank gave me a chance to play with the guys again because they already had a lead trumpet player. Steve Sanchez is a very, very good horn player. And I told Frank, so maybe you can use me on trombone. And so I've been playing trombone with a group, and it's a very, very nice experience because it's been many, many years since I played with the guys from the rhythm section that I played with back in the 70s. Frank and I have always been playing with different groups all the time, and Danny too, and even Steve with the orchestra, the Hano Orchestra and stuff. But basically, my background is that I was born into an age where it was good for live music.
Yeah.
So very fortunate.
So you talked a little bit about where you were from and how long you've been playing. Do you have is it like a family background? Do you have musicians in the family or
No, there's no musicians whatsoever. I've seen a picture of my great grandfather He's sitting on a porch with a guitar on his, lap, and but I don't have any information on that. I don't know if he was just, strumming around or whatever, but the music didn't run in the family. I sort of stuck out. My dad was athletically inclined,
Okay.
his young years, and he wanted me to follow. And of course, I didn't. I wasn't very good at this, but I did it for him. And he enjoyed. He was a very supportive and active father. He was always there coaching the teams and stuff. So I had a good time, a good experience as a kid because I had, you know, parents that were supportive. And when I told him I wanted to learn how to play drums, he said, "No, that's out of the question. So you're going to play trumpet or you're not going to play anything." And I said, "Okay, I'll play trumpet." And he says, "I want you to play like Harry James." I said, "Well, we'll see." But during the school, I had the pleasure of having Paul Elizondo, and as he's a commissioner. He till he passed away recently, but he was my high school teacher, and so we had the opportunity to use the charts from his band because he had a professional band also, and so we were exposed to a wider a wider field of music with big band and a normal person going to high school. They usually learn mariachi or they learn
Right.
classical. But I got to listen to and play, stuff by Buddy Rich and all the screechers, the trumpet players, and it was a good experience in high school.
Yeah. I hear that a lot, and it's something that you hear people talk about now. How in the schools, there's not obviously like the athletics are still there, and but even athletics for that matter too. But specifically the arts, right? That they're not as prevalent as they were in the years of the past. And again, a lot of you guys here that I know that we play with and that are in the local scene here in San Antonio, a lot of them talk about how they started out in high school, and they got a lot of that good background with
Mhm.
playing in school bands and that kind of thing. To me, that's just it's real neat to hear that that was provided for you guys, and this will kind of give you some of that broader uh, you know diversity when it comes to musical genres and that kind of thing too. And you could definitely tell in the music, right? Like that's where all this stuff was kind of born, is the good mixing of all those good genres together to create some of this classic music that we still play today.
It was it all sort of prepared me for the time when I joined the group because Rudy Guerra had started with Sonny and his brother Manuel, and I noticed that they were playing a lot of instrumentals that were mambos and they had a lot of good music that they were playing that most combos didn't have, and Paul Elizondo took note of that. He said Rudy is a good musician, and because I was exposed to that kind of music, when I did get the call to come and try out with a group, I was kind of prepared.
Yeah, that's
We
good.
played here back then. We didn't play by note. Now we read charts because it's easier when you have one guy missing and you memorize the parts and one guy's missing. It's not going to sound right. So Frank writes out all the stuff, and it makes it a lot easier in case someone gets sick and they can't make the gigs.
You know what? Just before we move on to the next question, there, I know part of your history, because I know the guys talk about it a lot too, and you always get a lot of kudos and accolades that we commend you for. But I know you had a lot of work back in the what is it, like the heyday of the Tejano Music Awards, and the different award shows that were here in San Antonio. You used to do a lot of that directing, right? From the band orchestra and that kind of thing that would back it
I
up.
was on the board of directors for that organization that put that award show together, and I had been involved with the orchestra. They always had one because they wanted to back up all the singers. If they were going to back up two singers, it didn't make any sense to tear down and set up another group, and
Yeah.
so we started doing that, and Frank was writing out on the charts, and I was like not so much a conductor, but I was still in front because we were doing television shows, and they would tell you, "We're cutting the commercial," cut, start the music, stop the music, this and that.
Yeah.
We had a lot of rehearsals on actually being the orchestra for the television show, so that they didn't have to edit, that much. And yeah, I was on the board from about 90 to 99, and that was the heyday of like
Those, those were
most of,
those are the Alamo Dome days, right?
yeah, the arena and then the Alamo Dome,
Yeah.
and it was a very nice experience. We used the musicians that wanted to play and back up these singers, and it sounded great.
Yeah.
I wasn't even playing. I was just up there waving my arms, and board of directors had decided that they wanted me to wear tails, because the guys were wearing tuxedos.
Yeah.
And when David Lee and his father and all the other guys, they saw me walking around with the tails, they called me Bugs Bunny.
That's the first thing I thought of was the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah, and I caught a lot of flack for that, but at the same time, I think we were putting our best foot forward as far as the production and
Yeah.
the quality of what was going on.
No, absolutely. I mean, I can tell you as a youngster watching those Tejano Music Awards. I mean, that's part of the reason why the genre continues, even though in the economic kind of downtick and everything else, they're always talking about Tejano music. But you guys set a very high bar and a very solid line of foundation as far as what is professional and how these award shows should be presented. And again, I can tell you, like I said, as a viewer, I was always amazed at how professional and how seamless these shows would go on, in the backup band, like I said, the orchestra that would back up all these songs. And it's cool to hear them with that type of instrumentation too, right? Because there's a lot of keyboards or that kind of stuff in the recorded versions, but these were like a more of a big band award show style arrangement for these songs. I thought that was always real cool to hear. So that's neat. No, that's real cool. That's real cool. Well, as we transition to the next question, I know we are again, as we started these sessions, we were kind of deep into quarantine, and now we're getting a little bit out of our shells and closer to some gigs and whatnot. But what have you been up to during the quarantine this past year? We've been really not gigging and doing things like that, but everybody kind of always has the question of what goes on. What do you guys do when we're not doing
But
our gigs?
in November of 2020, my wife and I got COVID, but we had very, very weak symptoms. As a matter of fact, I didn't have any, I wasn't symptomatic.
Okay.
And the only reason we know that we had it is that when they tested us for the antibodies, we had it. So that was in November. And so after you have the COVID, you have a little bit of the antibodies but we were still playing it real safe when we were staying home. And I lost so many musician friends to COVID that, it was better for us to just sit back and get on each other's nerves and watch TV and cook and eat and all this stuff. So um, we did get our vaccinations. The second vaccination was in February of this year. And so, that sort of like uh, helps to make sure that you have enough antibodies to be able to feel free enough to leave the house. But we still use masks. But it's starting to free up a lot. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that are playing now, and like we play normally when we play together, we play outdoor festivals, big stages that can accommodate
Yeah.
the amount of members in our band. And so it's free wind, air. It's outside. I'm looking forward to getting back and doing that again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Same as I. Is there anything that you're looking forward to the most? Kind of getting back to a new norm. Anything that you haven't been doing that you miss?
Um, The only thing I haven't been able to, I'm a great grandfather now, and I've wanted to spend time with my great grandson, and my grandchildren, but I've been having to keep my distance, and I haven't been able to see my brother either. We've always stayed far apart from each other during this thing, and so I'm looking forward to being able to see my family and be with my brother and barbecue in the back again, and practicing with our group. I look forward to doing all the stuff that's going to make the group uh, active again and ready for any gigs that might be coming on.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. All right. Well, so one question that I've asked all the guys thus far is, the band. Everybody likes to hear about stories that we talk about when we're on the road and that kind of thing. And I know I always get a kick out of you guys' stories because you guys got a lot of them, and everybody has a different perspective on them because some people were in the band at the time and some people weren't. Some people they're the topic of the story, and then some people were observing that story. So what's your favorite band story? Maybe one, or even if you have a couple, what's the one that stands out the most to you out of all your years with the Latin Breed? What's your favorite?
Oh, there's a lot of them, but one of them that comes to mind was, yeah, when I was with the Latin Breed the first time. I was 20 years old, and Rudy Guerra, what he would do is that he would buy the outfits for the whole band, including the shoes and all this, and he learned that from the Sunliners. I remember the Sunliners always had outfits, and what he did was he bought us these polyester bell bottom three-piece suits, and these big platform white boots. It made the short guys tall, or at least normal height,
Yeah.
but they were very, very difficult to walk in. And so from time to time, guys in the band would take a spill, and I remember Richard walking across the dance floor with a snare in his hand, and he was wearing those boots, and he slipped. And when he slipped, he hit the floor, and the snare started rolling. Brr, 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 and I was just beside myself laughing about that. And then one time, the same boots, we were playing. Oh, I don't remember. It was a place where we would use Shure columns. They're heavy speakers for monitors. They tower. And Jimmy Edward was in the back while we were playing an instrumental, and somehow or another he got the heel, uh, the wire of the monitor wrapped up around his heel, and he tripped and fell down, and the monitor was coming right on. He had to roll to get out of the way. And when I saw that, and then they counted off the song, I couldn't even play. I was just rolling on the ground. I think one more guy, Chiefy, he took a spill off the stairs with those same platform. I call them moon boots because they look like moon boots. But that's one of the stories that can be told. Rated G, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of other stuff, of course. As you spend years and years and years on the road, there's so many stories, and you start thinking about those things, you start laughing. So they bring back good memories and crazy things that used to happen when we were young.
The cursed platform boots, huh?
You're freezing up. Yeah, I have to show you a picture of that if we can ever, because the platform was about this thick and the heel was this high. So these guys were used to wearing cowboy boots and tennies and all this stuff. We're having to walk on these things, and everybody was just falling down left and right. It was real funny.
That's good. Good stuff. All right, Donald. Well, like I said, we just wanted to take some time out to get to know you guys a little bit better. Like I said, we'll be doing all the guys at some point, and so we're putting this out, while we're kind of in our holding pattern here until we get to some gigs. And of course, we actually are getting some new material ready, and we're getting some new a new show together for for the latter part of the year and into next year. So I know
I think
I'm
we're
excited
taking
about all
good
that kind of stuff. And
advantage of the time off right now because
yeah,
we've been busy doing things, preparing. So I'm very excited about that. And the other thing, and I'm not blowing smoke up your tailpipe, but I'm really, really excited about presenting you to the public to so they can hear what I hear because I've been at the rehearsals, I've been at all the gigs. I hear when you sing, and the people still need to see you perform and sing, and they're gonna they're gonna really accept you. You're gonna make your mark. You watch. I
well,
know it.
I appreciate that, and then definitely that's the plan. I know, like I said, it's always said, right, that if you want to be a singer, you got to have a really, really, really awesome band behind you, to get you up there on that platform. No pun intended for the platform shoes, but got to be up on that platform. And so, yeah, you guys do an excellent job all the time. I always tell everybody, when they talk about the band, I always say, well, I'm the weakest link because these guys have been around for like, years playing at the very top of the level. So I again, I appreciate the compliment, and I'm definitely looking forward to what we can do together, these next few years, and of course, get some new albums out and all that good stuff.
It'll be good.
But yeah, well, I thank you for your time, Donald. Anything you want to share with the viewers out there?
Just to keep an eye out for us. We'll be out there performing before you know it, and come on out and see us. We're very lucky that we got the whole group and nobody really got real sick during this period. And so, we want to come out with a big bang and play for all the people, and uh, do what we do, which is to play music that people want to hear. So,
Yep. I would definitely echo that. I will say we got some new social media platforms out there, so maybe we'll try to throw a little link up there. But again, latinbreed.net is our website. We got some new merchandise coming onto there, and some, of course, information on the band and the gigs and all that good stuff. So make sure to check that out. This particular video, as well as the others, will be on the YouTube page. So if you're seeing this on Facebook, go to the YouTube. It's latinbreedfans.youtube, and of course our Facebook page always has regular updates and things that are going on with the band. So, all right. Well, with that, like I said, thank you for your time, Donald.
thank
And
you.
appreciate it. We'll definitely look to do more of these. And of course, these types of sessions, we could just go deep on all you guys, and we plan to, so that way the people can, of course, get to know you even more. But we appreciate you for your time today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.